Welcome to Bible in the Bar. Here we are at Talia's Steakhouse on the Upper West Side of Manhattan with Professor Nathaniel Berman. Welcome.
Thank you.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 is a long and detailed chapter.
Long and detailed.
Lengthy exposition of the terms of obedience or disobedience of the covenant from the earlier narrative in the book of Deuteronomy. And there's a real disparity, right, in this chapter. It kind of divides into the blessing and the curse for obedience or disobedience, but there's a real disparity in terms of length, emphasis, and detail between the first part, right, being obedient, and the disobedience. We have 15 verses of the consequences of obedience and 53 verses for the consequence for disobedience. I'm just wondering if you can talk a little bit about that disparity and what it says about human nature, what it says about the Israelites, what it says about consequences for our actions.
Well, I think that for contemporary people today, this chapter is really amazing because it's not a religion where you do your best and things will work out and you go home and you'll have a meal and it'll be okay and everything will be fine. This is, if you do good, there'll be these blessings and the blessings are amazing. And if you do bad, you'll have these curses and the curses are horrifying and they go on and on and on in details. And you'll have this kind of disease and that kind of disease and you'll be smitten in this way and smitten in that way. And you'll be eating your children and it's all these horrors. So that itself is an amazing, this is a really a chapter about people who really experience God in its full power. Something that is very hard for us to have access to today. And as far as it is very, very striking, as you point out, that the curses are so much more detailed and go on and on and on, and horror upon horror upon horror upon horror, and you almost forget about the blessings once you finish reading the curses. And I think it's a little bit hard to know how to deal with it. I think perhaps one of the explanations is that if you really experience God as all-powerful, that there is a sense of yirah, of fear, of awe, of the consequences of bad actions that in a way almost swamp the blessings. And that this chapter is an expression of that particular experience of God in which you're just humbled before the divine presence and divine power. But again, it's not for the weak of heart. It's not for the happy-go-lucky modern. It really is people who are living really in deep relationship to a world in which divine power is omnipresent.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay.